growth therapy.
Round 2. Got a busy day. Are you tired? Are you good?
I'm good.
Are you amped?
I'm
I think
good.
the last one was like a good
It was really, really good. Well,
they
provided really good stories.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And then like that, you know what my favorite episode is?
Which one?
My recent one from the recent ones is when we did the porn cheating one.
Oh,
you went
well, because we had really good.
We had some toxic ass people.
Right. But like, so I could relate.
You like went off on. I just love when you kind of like go off on them. Like I know that we should be treating our listeners with love.
but
it comes from love. It's just tough love. It's funny love. It comes from the heart. Anyways, let's get started.
Okay.
I read some emails.
All right, here we go.
I don't know why I was like waiting for you to like just do it. I was like, plug yourself.
That's fine.
Anyways, hi guys, it's me, Stefanie Maegan, your host of Murals Therapy, and we have your actual favorite, HK Braids.
Am I their favorite? Your favorite?
I think
you're my
favorite. Favorites. No, you're everyone's favorite. And I'm not doing that just to suck your dick. But like, but no, I mean, there's been times where like I've been on like the show with someone and I'll be like, I want HK Brains to read it. And I'm like, oh, so sorry, we have to do the next one. This was for HK Brains.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank
but
you.
It's, you know, it's okay.
It's always a pleasure
It's a time
being
between
here.
you and Rose.
Yeah.
Comment below, Rose or HK.
That's my competition. That's
I'm just kidding.
That's
We're not gonna
my
do that.
competition. We're
It's all
gonna
love.
next show in New York. We're gonna arm wrestle.
You should.
We should.
Oh my
We
God.
should.
Holy shit. Okay, let's see. I really just want, because the last episode had such juicy topics and like stories. Like I want like more juicy.
It was, yeah.
Okay,
I do like when they get deep for sure, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's also nice to like sprinkle a little juice.
Right? Sometimes I feel like we talk about sex so much
Yeah.
that I need like a palate
That's what
cleanser.
they tune in for, right? No.
Yeah, which is great. I love talking about sex. I mean, I'm obviously making a living out of it, but it's just like sometimes I need a palate cleanser.
Right.
You know, like I want to talk about. Well, this one says chisme on my love life.
Okay.
So let's go with that.
Okay.
Hey girl, I like to share my story and hopefully hear your advice on the pod. 3 years ago, I started a situationship with one of my coworkers.
Ooh. I love when just within the first 2 seconds you're like toxic.
We're like, we know where this is going.
Yes.
Just like the lie. Yeah. Anyways, we just know, like the moment you set it up, who this person is.
Literally, I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes ago when you were like, this girl, you read it so casually, but it was like, oh yeah, I met this guy in the pandemic, 2 weeks in, I got pregnant. I was like, wait, let's just give me a second to process what the fuck this bitch just said.
They just be like getting straight to the point.
Yeah, which is
we
fine.
like
That's
it,
great.
we like
That's
it.
great. Yeah.
But I want you to read along too.
Okay. Let's popcorn read. Can you imagine how chaotic that would be?
That would be so chaotic. Yeah. There was times when you were reading last time and I was reading along where I was like, just trying to fix it for you.
Wait, do you want to try to do popcorn read one
Okay,
sentence?
fine. I'll do this first paragraph and you get the next paragraph.
No, we have to popcorn read. We do 1 word each. I'm just kidding. No, that's annoying.
We're gonna lose
We're gonna lose it. We're
subscribers.
gonna lose it. We're gonna lose it. Lose subscribers.
They're like, I'm sober though. You know what? Someone commented that. After this review, I couldn't look anymore because my feelings were hurt.
No.
Because they were
Wait,
like,
really?
it was like on Apple, and they were saying like, I love this show and I love what they talk about, but I can't stand that she eats so much on the show.
What the fuck?
And so she gave me 4 stars
Wow.
because of the eating.
Ruthless. People are ruthless.
Yeah, and so I was like, damn, okay.
The internet.
And so I
Apple reviews. She's a cunt.
yeah, to go out of your way to go on Apple reviews.
Yeah.
It's kind of cunty.
Wow.
It's kind of cunty.
Like, at least leave a fucking comment on YouTube, bitch. No, I'm just
Right?
kidding.
Or like let me know. Like let me know on the low. Like if you really support the show.
It's
this
okay.
is all like independent shit. I don't got a team.
Damn.
But you're ruining my fucking.
The reviews.
So everyone's gonna give me 5 stars and let me know that you
Yeah,
like.
please
the
go on
fucking
Apple
eating.
and leave 5-star reviews.
Yeah. Anyways, 3 years ago, I started a situationship with one of my coworkers. He told me he wasn't ready for a relationship, typical, but I stayed anyways, typical. We Sorry.
Just both of them. Pew, pew, pew.
We dated for a year, basically lived together. Okay. Okay. Our families knew we were together, but we always asked to keep it a secret from our job for some reason. After a year, he told me that an ex-coworker from his ex-job was getting hired at our workplace. He told me that he used to like her, but she always had a boyfriend. After this girl got hired, he gradually stopped seeing me. But I was so in love with him that we still fucked every other month.
Oh, she turned into the side piece. Sorry, I'm speculating. No, she said
she's being treated like
she
one.
said he stopped seeing her.
Yeah, and
they would just fuck once a month. Every month. So does that mean they stopped living together?
That's I don't understand.
Questions. Yeah.
Right. I started dating other guys, but nothing ever really worked out because I still had feelings for him. But he made it really hard for me to date. He would blow up my phone if he knew I was on a date and do other crazy shit like show up drunk to my house. Oh, God.
Whoa. Wait, I was supposed to read that paragraph. I'm just kidding.
Oh, sorry. You can read the rest. Go.
With the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taking this too seriously.
Meanwhile, I suspected they had started dating, although he'd always deny it. I never really got closure on how things ended, but a few months later, I met my now fiance. Good for you.
Okay.
Applause. Just kidding.
Applause.
He's the best human being I've ever been with. Oh, have you been with other creatures? No, I'm just kidding. My fiance doesn't know about my past with that guy. Doesn't matter. He thinks he's a regular coworker. Oh, because you still work with him. Okay. I guess
Y'all are very committed to your jobs.
Yeah. I guess I never really. Oh yeah. I guess I never told him because I really got my heart broken and didn't want to reopen that wound. Fair.
Okay. Oh, my fiance and I recently found out we're pregnant.
Congratulations.
Congrats! I was over the moon excited, but then I found out my coworker got his girl pregnant.
Copycats.
So he finally admitted they've been together this entire time. Her and I got pregnant around the same time. We even got engaged a few days apart.
Wow.
Anyway, seeing them together still hurts in some ways. Is it wrong to think that in a parallel universe, it would be us together?
No, I think it's normal to think that. But it's not
sent from my iPhone.
It's not useful because my old roommate, I had to like beat it out of him whenever he would break up with someone, which was so many times. But the worst part was getting him out of the rut of not running back to his ex because he was always like, but what if he gets better? What if blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, the thing is, you have all the data. He's cheated on you how many times? He's given you STDs how many times? You are now going to be the fucking dumbass if you keep going back to that.
What is it going to take?
And keep hoping for the best when this person keeps showing you that they're motherfucking garbage.
Right.
So it is normal for you to think that, whoa, maybe we could have worked out, but you didn't. So while those are your thoughts, always come back to what the motherfucking reality is. You found a good man. You have a great man. You're about to have a wonderful family. So like, it's okay to think those things. But now what you also need to realize is you did better. Like and both of these people, you could just, cut them out. It is awkward because you work together. So obviously you'll have those triggers because they're still in your vicinity.
Right.
But so what? All you have to do is remind yourself, oh, I'm living a great life.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that to hang on to what could have been, because sometimes, I'll think about what if I made this certain decision with this ex, and what if I chose to go this path instead of this, I think it's okay to kind of look at it that way. But also know that I think for me, it's what helped me kind of realize that I was in a healthier situation, because I look at certain decisions I made in my life with certain guys. If I chose to move to Alabama, live with Morgan, rather than, choose me and then meet Brian and be where I am now, it's you made the right decision because you followed your heart. You knew that this person, wasn't treating you the way that you deserved. And it took him leaving the situation, but that's a blessing, And so I think it's okay to like look at those things, but also just know that just use that in a sense of like to understand and to remind yourself that, you know, you are where you're meant to be, you know? So, yeah, but don't dwell on it. If there's a point where it's like you're dwelling on it too much, then there's something maybe to dive in. Maybe there's a lot of regret that you're dealing with like in your own situation. So that could be something that I think that you would have to like have a conversation with yourself about. But I think it's okay to like look back and be like, what if I chose this ex? And like, what if we kept going? What would have happened? But at the end of the day, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And you are where you're supposed to be.
Correct. I think you brought up a good point. You definitely still have to be on watch with yourself and your intrusive thoughts, because if you let it go, this is why it's important, again, to learn about emotional intelligence and process shit without just sweeping it under the rug or suppressing emotions.
Yeah.
Because if you don't address feelings that are unprocessed, not just with this, with anything, whether it's like, you know, anger or sadness or depression, process that shit as soon as possible. And it's difficult sometimes. It can be hard work. This, I think, is frivolous. You can get over it really quick.
Right.
But other things are going to happen in your life that are going to be like harder trials and tribulations. You want to face that head on, because if you don't and you let it go untreated, it could develop worse. So yeah, don't let your intrusive thoughts about this guy develop into like longing, and then you start like trying to message each other low key. Because the thing is, I can tell he's toxic and he's unhealed. It sounds like he might have like dated this girl and got her pregnant out of spite,
or he just wasn't your person.
Right. Well, definitely not her person.
Right.
But, you know, the fact that it just sucks that you are in close quarters.
Right.
I would love for you to get a completely new job so you don't have to see these people anymore. Because then you wouldn't have, you get rid of the trigger, right? And that would be a better overall.
Still a reminder to see him all the time. Like, that's still like.
It's a better overall choice for your personal development in your life going forward. So yeah. Do that if it's possible, if it's feasible. But for the most part, you have wonderful things going on for you. And congratulations again.
Yeah,
can't wait for your baby. Bring your baby to the show.
Imagine. Oh my God. We'll have like a daycare in the back. HK will handle your guys' kid. He'll babysit everyone's kid.
Good luck. Good luck. $50 a pop.
But yeah. No, it just
I don't clean barf. I don't change diapers.
Right. You're just gonna watch.
Yeah. I just make cute videos. And that's it.
Make cute videos. And that's it. But I was gonna say something, but I totally forgot.
Oh, sorry. We got off track.
But yeah, I think it's there's been times where here's the thing. I think going back to like, he is pregnant or she's pregnant and he's engaged now. Like, when you care for someone and then you move on from the relationship and then you see like, the fucking Facebook update or like the Instagram update, when you hear and find out that they're like having those really big monumental moments in their lives, like it's still gonna like sting a little bit, not like a lot. Like for me, my first love from, my high school boyfriend from 15 years old to 20 years old, like, obviously I don't want to be with him anymore. I've accepted, like, it's been a long time since we've broken up. But, he is newly married and also just announced that he was having a baby boy. And I was like so happy for him. But there was a part that was like, aw, like it does sting a little bit, because at one portion of your life, you really felt connected to this person.
You shared your life together.
You shared your life together.
It's fair. That's fair.
So at one point, especially for me, like I thought he was going to be like the father of my kids. I mean, obviously I was like 16 and like didn't know, still really young, but I really thought he was going to be that, and so to obviously I've healed from that. I no longer look at him as that, but of course that 16-year-old self, is going to be like, aw, that sucks. But I'm also like, I'm happy for you, So I think it's just understand that like those feelings are normal, but at the end of the day, shit, you're having a baby, so like focus on your life and all your blessings. Okay. Look at us. We're like so healed.
It took a long, I hope so.
I know.
I fucking hope so.
When did you realize that you were like emotionally mature? Are you
yesterday? It's very recent.
Because
very,
you
very
are
recent.
like
the thing
as
is,
chaotic as you can be.
I took a lot.
No
Like I'd
offense.
say, no, seriously. Like not the worst. The worst was when I probably was with my long-term partner.
Yeah.
And then I thought like, oh, I've learned so much, and I was so happy to be single again, and like that was a healing moment to be like independent. But then
Yeah.
every guy I went for after was just like horrible, treating me like shit. And then the last time that I was super, super toxic was when it was like right before the pandemic, like 2017 to 2019. I caught feelings for a close friend, and it turned into like a smorgasbord of like drama season after season of just like he liked me, I liked him, but it never turned anything. But then like when we weren't in sync, it was just like I got really crazy possessive, and I was like wondering where he's at, when I was like,
Right.
why we're not even dating, to the point where like unfortunately we're no longer friends anymore. And that definitely helped me. I learned a lot through the loss, and after that I definitely learned how to become a better friend, but realized that I needed to heal a lot of myself. And then pandemic, I feel, was just like everyone's reflection point, because we
Right.
had nothing else to do.
Right.
But I had a lot. I was still getting into trouble here and there and doing stupid shit. But yeah, so I would say it's been an ongoing process, of course, throughout my adulthood. But very recently am I now fully confident that I have achieved a certain level, solidified a certain level. And they say that in your 30s is when
Yeah.
you finally achieve like your mindset that's like, or you solidify your
Yeah.
mindset, your personality.
Most of us.
Yeah.
There's some people, yeah.
And I mean, in life, you're
But
always
there's
going to
always
keep learning. Yeah.
Everyone has their own journey.
Yeah. And I would like to hope and think that I do have an open-minded mindset for the most part, so that I can still be open to learning. But yes, it's a very recent development to be confident in what I've learned, and
Yeah.
say that I'm healed in more areas than one.
Yeah.
Not all.
Yeah.
But-
there's always going to be a genre of something in our life that we're really trying to like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
overcome.
Yeah.
A genre, is that the right word? There's
Yeah.
always going to be something in our life that we're always trying to like overcome.
Yeah. There's always areas of construction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
The next one is juicy. It says,
Oh.
when your life turns into a novella.
Mm.
Okay, there you go. I put it up for you too. Do you want to start it off?
Sure.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, they want Dan Quay, but it's fine. He's unavailable.
Hi, Steph. I'm a big fan of the show, and I'm hoping you and Dan Quay from the male perspective can help me.
We got HK.
Well, you're getting the fact perspective. Sorry. I
You're
am.
saying you got
I
the
am
what?
the fact perspective. I am not big on dating, and I am a huge introvert. So am I. But this year, I decided to get over it and try my luck on a dating app.
Woo!
I met this guy. Let's call him Manuel. And we have gone on 6 dates. I also live with 2 roommates, a male and a female, who I have known for over 10 years. Oh, wow. On my 3rd date with Manuel, the male roommate, let's call him Michael, told me he has feelings for me. Whoa!
Oh, God.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Sorry, not the situation. I love the juice.
The drama.
From the
The drama
jump.
that's not yours.
From the jump, yeah.
Yeah.
This was unexpected and came as a complete shock. We dated once over 10 years ago in high school. It was a short relationship, if you could call it that only lasted for a month. Since then, we've never dated, but have fooled around a few times here and there. We were always clear we were nothing but friends and would never date again.
All right, my turn. So, again, when he told me this, I questioned the timing and his motivations. This led to explosive arguments and a lot of hurt feelings. I've dated on and off in the past, and this never came up. I even told my roommates the day I downloaded a dating app. When I told him I didn't want to date him, he blew up and it made things awkward around the house. Since then, we've talked and agreed to give it a few dates to see if we even have romantic feelings for each other. The dates have gone okay, but I'm not sure the spark is there.
All the while, I did go on more dates with Manuel. He is funny, nice, and sexy as hell.
Ooh,
Manuel, sexy as hell. I definitely...
Sorry.
I definitely feel a spark and we communicate great. He even knows the situation and is willing to wait for me. Okay, he is quality. He's quality.
Yeah.
I don't that a secure man is very rare.
Secure that one.
I don't mind I don't have many bad things to say, but he is going through a divorce currently. Oh, baggage. That's all right.
Yeah.
I found the case on public records to make sure. LOL. Okay, she a little detective.
Oh my God. Okay.
I am very confused of my feelings and hope you can help me. I need an outside perspective to help me sort out these thoughts. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I feel like I am way past that. I know I need to make a decision, but I feel so stuck. I am not used to dating two people at once and feel like calling it quits and being single again.
No.
Things were so simple when I was single, but now it's as messy as a novella. Please help. Well, I'm here to tell you.
You're dating correctly.
Life is messy. Life is fucking chaotic, and this is actually not the worst. I would be willing to say this is mild. Yeah, I would be willing to say this is mild. Ain't nobody pregnant. Ain't nobody catching no diseases. Ain't nobody's fighting. No violence. Yeah. Like this is everyone's very adult for the most part.
Yeah. It just seems like the friend is just
I wouldn't even say
emotional.
messy. It's just awkward.
He just has feelings, and his feelings are hurt, which is fine. But like you ultimately have to choose for yourself who you want to be with.
Yeah.
And so I feel like from reading this email, I already know who she wants to be with. She already painted the picture so perfectly for us that we know where she's heading towards.
Yeah.
So
yeah. If you want to take control and do like the healthiest choice, move out. Because it's just going to make it worse for him. Like, sure, you're in the clear because you're already dating a great guy and your life is in order. But I'm pretty sure, because being on the other end of unrequited love fucking sucks.
Or have homeboy move out.
I used to live...
If it's so annoying for him. Or that too,
yeah, actually, yeah. Because I used to... There was a point in time when I was living with someone that I totally fell for. And it absolutely sucked. And then I admitted it to them, and they politely declined. And then a week after I admitted it to them, they started dating someone else.
You started dating someone else?
No, he started dating someone else, and then that guy was over, and they became in serious relationship. They were over it, but love them now. I fully support them. They're on their way to getting married. Like it was just like in the moment for the 2 years that I lived. With that person, it was grueling.
Yeah.
And if the thing is, we never fought. It was still all love between us. So the fact that he's getting to the point where you guys are like, I think you said you have explosive arguments, that is unhealthy. And technically not necessary because you're not progressing through those arguments, and you can cut it out by one of you vacating the space. And I know that may seem drastic in the moment, but is it really? I don't think so if you're prioritizing both of your mental health.
Yeah.
Because again, you should be able to be adults and live in a space with someone and be okay, especially if you're friends and if you have a friend love for each other. But clearly the feelings are getting tied up and it's resulting in the argument. So I hope the best for you, and I hope Manuel, he sounds like a good guy just caught up in the unrequited love phase. So yeah, and keep your man, even though he's a divorcee. But
yeah, I was gonna say, like, him being a divorce, it really shouldn't be a red flag as we're adults now. Like, if anything, it shows that
it's a green flag.
Right, like he's down to commit, and so, and just because it didn't work out, like that's their marriage and their relationship. He has a past, and
he knows when to cut out unhealthy things.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's fine. I think the only time it's a red flag is if it's like the ex-wife is still around, but that is just, again, like,
Now you writing the novella.
Well, yeah, now that's a novella, right? But like, it's just, we're adults here, and as we get older, like it's going to be something that's more common, as if, you know, when someone has kids, someone's been divorced, like it's just something that's just like, as adults, it's just going to come up more and more as we get older.
And I just reading back, I think I recognize, like, for you, it might just be all new, and maybe you're used to a pace of that's not so dynamic. I have to sneeze. Sorry, hold on.
That was a quiet sneeze for a Filipino. What yeah, no, you're right. Like it just has a dynamic. It's just,
well, her dynamic.
It's just dating,
right? When I'm going back to when she said that she feels like she wants to go back to simple times when you were single and that there was no drama. The thing is, again, life is dynamic, and I had to recognize that when I realized, I had those moments. I was like, why am I always in drama? Why is it always in drama? And I started then guilting myself and being like, oh, I'm making bad choices, or oh, I'm choosing to be around chaotic people. People do that. People be like, blame it on their friends. They blame it on themselves. It's just fucking life. We all have growing pains. We all have things we're going through. We all have feelings. It's just human nature. Yeah. And so recognize that now and get used to it. And then I'll recognize that you do have choices to not continue to choose chaos. But and it's also, completely normal.
You have choices.
Yeah.
There's been times where I was wishing I had choices for at least one guy to like me.
Oh, true.
There'll be times I date two guys and I'm like I'm just trying to get one to like me, but they're just kind of there and not really.
Yeah.
So I think you're at a good spot.
Yeah. That's just part of human, like interpersonal relationships, is that there's always going to be something going on. And sometimes I don't want to say like that drama is necessary, but it's just, again, life, like living with other people, like things are gonna happen. People. That's why
like Love is Blind is so popular and like Love Island is so popular. Is because it's the reality of dating multiple people at once, but it being so in your face and honest, because it's like they're in an experiment essentially. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of like that, where it's like, I've been watching a lot of Love is Blind. Where you really like someone, and then someone else who's also in the experiment likes this person too, and then like you likes both of you and having to choose and stuff like that. And it's just like, because like relationships are so dynamic, and feelings are just, I don't know, it's just dating. It's just dating. So
you're fine. You're doing great.
You're okay.
You're doing great, sweetie.
This is not a novella. I was expecting more.
We were waiting for like the false pregnancies.
Right, exactly. Like he was like, that
scandal.
Like Manuel was like actually married, what I mean, and not divorced. But like you did your research and he was divorced. Yeah. So it's like,
you're doing fine.
You're good. Yeah. Like you're just living.
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay. Please help me get over a toxic fuckboy.
Right.
This is literally Broco Therapy 101.
Yeah.
literally. Okay, go.
So, first I want to say I love your podcast. So to get right into it, I was with my on again, off again boyfriend for 3 years. We lived together, and we recently just had a baby together 8 months ago. Juicy.
Oh, shit.
So congratulations.
Yeah, everyone's been pregnant.
Yeah.
I took a Plan B the other day.
In this economy, y'all are brave.
Right? It's a luxury to have kids at this point.
Yeah.
It's like,
We're no longer together because our relationship was toxic. Okay. Honestly, props to y'all for recognizing that. He was always lying and cheating, and I was always being stupid and codependent up on him, so I would take him back. Well, fast forward, we're broken up, and we have continued to hook up. Okay, well, that happens. He is talking to a new girl and has canceled plans with her to spend time with me, and says he never wants to stop hooking up. At one point, I felt the same because the dick is good, LOL, and I thought, screw the other girl because I was cheated on. But is that the girl he was cheating on you with? Yeah. That's a little toxic. Well, now I'm starting to get into my feelings and miss what we had, but I know we aren't right. It's hard because usually I could ghost him to forget him, but we have a child, so we have to speak on a daily basis. Can you please help me with some advice on how to move on and get into my feelings and not get into my feels every time we see or speak to each other? Yes, it's called boundaries. Pew, 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 pew. So the reason why you keep going back to each other is because you haven't allowed
No
space
boundaries.
between.
There's literally no rules and boundaries and anything.
You need space apart to grow essentially apart. But in ways that are necessary. You need to allow yourselves to grow individually, separate from each other. And yes, you have a child, so you will always be connected. And you always must stay connected to raise this child. But outside of that, draw the boundaries. We are just co-parenting. We are only this. Stop fucking each other. Clearly leads to nothing but good sex, and that's fine. But you can also literally get good sex from other people. And that goes for both of y'all. But first and foremost, main priority is the child. You have to put your kid first and think about that when you guys fuck around and be like, oh shit, we're dipping into our own selfish needs. And the worst, again, I got into this on the Patreon episode, but the worst thing that can happen is when your single parent or your co-parent starts prioritizing their personal bullshit and then they take a step away from being a parent. Of course that fucking happens. Right. It sometimes can be unavoidable, but the sooner you can recognize that you need to prioritize parenting, the better it is for you to show up for your child. And that is totally my own personal projection. But again, as a child who dealt with so much of that,
right.
It fucking sucked.
What was your mom's dynamic? Because was your dad around, really?
We cut him out by the time I was 4 or 5 years old.
Oh, really?
It was necessary because he was horrible abuser. Yeah.
Okay. And so what was your mom's dynamic with men, and how do you think that affected
she was a hoe.
you? Like, what did you see? And
she was a hoe for show, but I was excited because I wanted her to have her fun, and I wanted her. It's crazy, but this is the other thing that you don't realize. When you maybe it could be single parenting, but it also can happen in a home with two parents.
Yeah.
When the parents just stop prioritizing parenting their child, you push them into adultification, which is making your child grow up faster and have to jump to being independent and jump to doing things, which sounds like it can be a good thing, but for the most part, you're skipping over levels of development. And sure, I gained maturity and independence much quicker than other people, but I missed out on a lot of other developmental shit.
Because it's going off of survival. It's like this.
Yeah. And it's formative years. So again, circumstances are circumstances. You can't always offer the best environment to have the perfect childhood upbringing. I understand that clearly.
Right.
But in retrospect, when my mom was single, I just wanted her to be happy because I recognized how horrible my dad was to both of us.
Yeah.
But then there was a point where she would start dating guys and it wasn't her idea. It was her toxic ass friends' ideas, but they were like, oh yeah, you'll definitely get laid if you just tell them that Harrison's your little brother. And because my mom has such a young look, she looked so young. At 40, she looked 20. And so when she never said it herself, but her friends would say it for her. They'd be like, oh, that's just because the guys would be like, is that your son? And it was my mom's friends. They'd be like, oh, no, that's her little brother.
And you would hear that?
Yeah. Girl.
And what would you say?
I would just go along with it. I would play along because I'd be like, oh, yeah, I wanted my mom to have fun.
I just want to hug little Harrison.
It was fucked up.
Yeah.
The good thing is that in those moments, I didn't recognize that it was wrong.
Yeah.
And things could have been worse. I was just glad that we were all having fun together, and that I was able to go on trips with my mom, and I wasn't being abused anymore, and
right.
But recognizing that, oh no, my mom was supposed to definitely show up as a mother. In those moments, it wasn't completely correct. And you should have been dating these other boys. They were 20 somethings when my mom was getting into her 40s.
How old was she when she had
So
you?
my mom was young. She was 24.
Okay.
And so by this era, she was into her 30s. And she looked young for her age.
Yeah, because Asian, no raisin.
Right. And
And you look like young as fuck, being in your 30s. Like you look like you could be 24.
Thank you. But yeah, so it wasn't until I realized as an adult, like, oh, that was not correct. You know, like you definitely should have showed up as a parent.
And would they like?
But the child would never blame you. That's the thing. As the adult, you need to recognize when you're pushing certain boundaries and when you're not showing up as the parent you should be. So yeah, back to y'all.
No, I was just saying, because that's like just kind of, I guess I just wanted to like highlight that, because, you know, for like the reader now, again, like just really just talking about how, you know, prioritizing the dick and all this stuff. And yeah, it kind of gets to a point where like it is a toxic relationship, and like your kids could feel that. Like we could feel like when your parents are not getting along, or like, you know, they could read the room. Like I think that we forget that kids could feel energy so much more intensely, I think, than like adults ourselves, you know? And so I think that, again, that was just like kind of my point, was just like I wanted, you were right with like prioritizing the kid. Like just think of that first before you just dive into like all these, you know, self-destructive behavior. And again, we're human, we're gonna make these mistakes, and it's like, it's okay. But I think at the same time, you just have to know, again, boundaries.
I'm glad
and be important and be very like strict with those boundaries, because your kid's gonna feel it. And like you know, the prime example of like any person, it comes from their parents. So just really like think of that first before anything else. And I think that's just what being a parent is, you know. So
I'm glad you brought that up specifically, because I think I made it a little too general. Like, yes, prioritize parenting, but what specifically? Because they'll think that like, oh, I'm showing up financially for my kid. Nah, that's like barely a portion of actually being a parent. Like you got to show up for your kid when they need help with their education, when whatever way you can support your, like I wish my family fucking showed up to like my concerts and shit. They never fucking give a fuck about like my performances, or like even like me being queer, like, because I'm sure I was already expressing it at a young age, but nobody like came to like nurture but yeah, so make sure, along with financial support and other things, that you are showing up in ways as a parent in more than one. And the other specific one to this is holding the boundary of not letting your child see your messy dating life. Because that was a boundary I wish I never, like opening my mom's purse and pulling out a fucking strip of Magnums may seem funny to me now. But as a child, that's definitely not something that you should see. I know that you specifically are not messy, but this is like, now this is just general information.
Just like you could have that life, but make sure, again, boundaries. Having that boundaries between that and like being a parent.
And then when you get to the later years, when they're going from child to teenager to young adult, have those open conversations. Prioritize having those conversations, because they are going to need mentors to help them through having better dating lives than you.
Right? To like,
and I will grill you. I will grill you, fucking heteros. For raising for that.
But even like, if your parents are still together, right? Because like, I mean, my parents divorced when I was 16, but just even being like a little girl and like seeing my parents' dynamic, like I remember always thinking like my parents weren't in love, you know. And so, I'm not saying that like, I'm just saying that like going back to just like, kids know, you know, they don't really like have the words to articulate it, they like know. And so I think for my entire life, my parents were together, like I knew like this wasn't gonna like work out. So when they divorced, I was like, bitch, I knew it. Like, you know what I mean? So so I think just keep that in mind when you are going back and forth with this toxic baby daddy situation. Because
especially while the child is a baby, it's like, oh yeah, the child's not aware of any of it, but then
it's gonna become aware soon.
As much
before
you're not, if you're not nipping this bad habit in the butt, you're definitely not gonna stop it once they start recognizing, you know, like So yeah.
Okay. Well, that was a good one. Just do another one.
Yeah.
Okay. This one says cornfields, murals, and a toxic friend. And there was a mural outside. Remember? Oh, this is a thickie, but it's fine. February 23rd. This is this past February, so not too late. But actually, by the time this is out, this is probably June. So sorry. Okay, popcorn reading.
Okay.
I'll start off and then you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Steph, I've been listening to your podcast for almost a year now. I love listening. All the experiences and advice you and your friends share are very funny. Are funny, very helpful, and also relatable.
You can say very funny.
Very funny. It's definitely something I have needed in my life. I love the energy. Keep up the good work, girl. Warning, this message is thick, and I apologize in advance. I love that she used the word thick because
we like it thick.
We like it thick. You could call me Raven. A little bit about, how about you do this?
Okay.
Okay.
Imagine if we put like a minimum word count.
Like timer.
Yeah.
Timer's up.
You
There
can
you go.
call me Raven. That's so Raven. Yeah. A little bit about myself. I am a 24-year-old Taurus.
34-year-old Taurus.
Hey.
That's so Raven.
I am an artist. We love that. I also do photography. I love all the spiritual things, astrology, tarot, crystals, seances. No, I'm just kidding. Etc. I love working on cars. Oh, okay. Being around animals. Is this your dating profile?
I know. Are you trying to like date one of us?
Being around animals
'Cause I might be
and
now
being in
shit.
nature. I will just use sun signs for names because I know y'all are into astrology and I'm here for it. It's very common. It's common.
It's very good. Yeah. Except you're not into astrology, so I'm gonna have to.
Oh no, it's okay. It's your brand. And I'm here for it. LOL. I need an outside perspective and my current situation. I'm so lost and have no idea what to do with my life. I've been living in the city for a few years and I've had a really hard time making friends and finding a job that I actually like. I currently have, relatable to a lot of levels. I currently have 2 jobs and I work 6 days a week. RIP. Yeah, you're working hard.
Yeah.
I live
there, though.
I live with my friend and he's a Cancer. Long story short, we grew up in the same town and moved here with a group of friends, but now it's just us. We've always been good friends, but now that it's just the 2 of us, it's constant drama and butting heads. Ooh.
Where do they live? Oh, they live in Kansas City. Okay.
Don't dox them.
I love that she does paragraphs though. So
Yeah.
next paragraph is me. I've struggled with depression and anxiety since I was young, and over the years I've changed a lot and have gotten really into spirituality. It's helped me become more self-aware, understand myself and other people. I'm still working on myself. Nobody's perfect, and I don't want to come off as mean or negative in this next part, but Cancer is driving me crazy, as Cancers do. No offense, because my boyfriend's Cancer. I realize that he is very controlling. Everything has to be done his way, and if it isn't, it's the end of the world. He wants me to hang out with him or help him with projects all the time, and if I tell him that I don't want to, he will guilt trip me. He's very back and forth with his mood. 1 minute we're friends, and the next he'll be threatening to kick me out. Sometimes...
So he's dramatic.
Wow, that's yeah. Sometimes he will just explode, and I mean scream and throw things like a child. A couple days ago, he literally punched a hole in the door because I was trying to explain to him that I don't like how he guilt trips me and how I don't like that he talks shit about me on social media. Wow. Literally the next day, it's like would be subtweeting.
So
Who does that?
he's a performer and clearly needs attention.
Yeah. Literally the next day, he was being all nice to me like it never happened. Ooh. I asked him, why are you being nice after what happened yesterday? His response is, it's in the past. Bro, ... it hadn't even been 24 hours yet. He concerns me. I want to help him, but anytime I try to bring up his behavior, he immediately shuts me down and says, I am a narcissist, that I am a horrible friend, that I'm selfish, calls me every name in the book. It just makes me feel like total shit. I could go on about how he acts and the things he posts online about me, but I'm trying to keep this as short as I can, LOL. I'm sick of living with him and trying to be his friend, and it sucks because he's honestly my only friend here. Then again, friends don't do that type of stuff, ... So I guess he's totally really not my friend. I don't know anymore.
Is it okay if we pause a little intermission?
Yes.
So I think there's a lot to break down, and this is only chapter 2 of 7. It's only book 2 of Harry Potter. But I love it. I love where you're going, and I love that this is an in-depth story. So at this point, chapter 2, I think we've all had this chapter 2 villainous friend. Fucking run, bro. Like, as fast as you can, because I've been through multiple friends like this. Multiple Voldemorts in my life, and in retrospect, all I can think is like, I wish I ran immediately. Cut off, ghost, block, whatever you need to do. And I know, like, I think you're living together or whatever, but like, you can find new friends. You are a quality person. I already know that from what you're saying, and this person is beyond your help. They're not beyond any help, but they're beyond your help because they clearly don't want any help, especially from you. He's the narcissist because he's gaslighting you. He's the one with all the issues, and he's deflecting because he has some deep insecurity and all these unsorted, unprocessed feelings that are turning into anger. And the hitting the wall, the outbursts and everything, it's just fucking performance because he'd rather spend his energy acting like a fucking child than processing his motherfucking emotions.
A fucking tantrum, like a fucking 2-year-old.
Right. So he's not an adult, and you should not be around that. So again, I know it's easier said than done, and you probably can't do it right away. But as soon as you can, exit. Make your fucking exit and move on and write the next story, because you're gonna waste so much time and energy on someone who's fucking helpless or in your capacity, because this person can only help themselves, and it's not your fucking job.
It's not your job.
Yeah.
And also going back to the astrology part, Cancers, I mean, as we all know, are like one of the most what?
Do you want a little sippy?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I can finish a whole one.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I'll finish it. No, I'm just kidding. Little drinky pause. Cheers.
Sorry, cheers.
Okay, it's okay. Fake.
Fake, right? Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Right? That was
I
really
had
good.
the mango flavor.
I like that.
Yeah.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
But we did like a whole ad for them.
Yes,
right
we
now.
really fucking did.
For those who are on YouTube,
Topo Chico.
we literally did a whole thing. I think they did try to sponsor the show once, but it didn't work. Yeah, anyways. So going back to the astrology part, Cancers are very sensitive. And I think that, like, anytime I say that, like, oh, my boyfriend's a Cancer, so-and-so is a Cancer, they're like, no, run, because of situations like this. But I'm gonna give Cancers a lot of credit. If they are emotionally mature and have worked on themselves, they are fantastic. But this is a perfect example of a Cancer who has not worked on himself, because clearly he has a lot of built-up emotions and he doesn't know how to and what to do with it. Like, he just fucking throws a tantrum and just hopes someone else figures it out for him.
You said that perfectly. He doesn't have the emotional capacity, emotional intelligence yet.
Yeah.
To process, like,
know what to
I'm
do.
the problem.
Right.
Malignant Cancer. Girl, be the chemo. Cut him out.
Right.
Cut him out. Throw them white blood cells in there.
Anyways, next paragraph here.
I've been looking for places to rent here.
There you go.
Already, chapter 3. I've been looking for places to rent here in the city, but it's hard because I have 3 pets and 2 vehicles. Oh, she got a zoo. It's okay. I love animals.
Yeah.
One is a project car. Oh, that's right. She's a mechanic.
Yeah.
Oh, you're kind of hot.
Oh, she's like
kind of sexy.
Yeah,
like
sexy.
Everywhere has limits and rules on pets and parking. True. I currently rent from a private landlord, and he doesn't care about the pets, which I am thankful for, but sadly he doesn't have any other places available at the moment. I've been trying for years to make friends here, and still nothing. I'm cool with my coworkers from my bar job, but they just ain't the vibe. I grew up on a farm, and sometimes I just feel like I don't fit in with the city people, LOL. Aww. They're super nice people and invite me to hang out with them sometimes, but getting blackout drunk just isn't my idea of fun.
HK.
It's okay. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
My idea of fun is going hiking or going to car events, concerts, or just activities in general. But there
are people who
is
are
a niche for you.
There is,
Yeah.
1000%. Just go to those events by yourself.
Yeah. What's
and make friends
what's
there.
Her location? Oh, I don't know anybody out
Kansas
there.
City, yeah.
I'm not against drinking. I just prefer flour. LOL.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, she totally gives me pothead vibes.
Yeah.
There is a niche for it's called LA. And literally you sound like everyone in LA.
But
in
no,
a
I'm
good
pretty
way.
sure in her urban area, definitely somewhere.
Yeah,
I
for
do
sure.
like kick it at the dispensaries. Like,
Is it legal there?
yeah, no, I don't know.
She farms
Just kidding.
it
Yeah,
herself,
maybe
yeah.
not. Maybe not. I do like it here. It's warm most of the year. There's a lot of nature, things to do, career opportunities, etc. But I've been heavily debating on just moving back to my hometown. I'd love to stay here, but then part of me is just so sick of being lonely. I miss my family and friends. I have a Cancer moon. I mentioned the idea to my family, and of course, they're all for it. My mom, hold on. My mom owns rental property, so she's already trying to hold one for me, LOL. Oh, that's a mom thing. I also applied to a few jobs back home just in case. The thought of moving back home just makes me feel so guilty. When I was younger, all I ever wanted was to get out of town, move to a city, and start some sort of, art business. I've been trying to start an art business, but no luck. The dream is to travel, paint murals, and maybe sell art online. I want to take another pause. I want to take another intermission.
Art over. I want to see.
Yeah. This is totally. I love this for you, and you're actually at the perfect point because you're not even pivoting from everything. You're just at a point ready to launch. Yeah. And you can, and maybe it's not in this current city, but there are other cities out there. Obviously, we only know coastal cities, but it's fucking big and populated.
Yeah.
It might be expensive, but you could make it happen.
Yeah,
you know?
and if going home and resetting for a minute is something you need to do, that's fine too. I think that
True.
I think we sometimes look at it as like it's a guilty thing to do, but it's a privilege to be able to have a family to welcome you
Very
with open
true.
arms, to be
Very
like, okay,
true.
come here, start over, reset, save some money, and like not be in like shitty situations. Like that's a privilege.
Very true.
Use it.
I 1,000% agree. Like if you just need to make, and you can also just plan it out and have distinct like guidelines or deadlines even like, cool, I'm just going to go home for 6 months, 12 months. And in those 12 months, save hard, save everything you can, every penny. And then it'd be like, next thing you know, fuck it, I'm moving to SoCal, where you could thrive as an artist doing murals.
Oh, yeah.
Or even the Bay Area. They love it here. Or fucking another country because this one's going to shit.
Right.
Canada, there's an art community.
Right.
You can find communities in urban areas that you can, that have the same interests in you, where you can be an artist, be a creative, and yeah, you're at a great place. So let's continue.
Continue. Wait, did you finish the paragraph already?
Yeah.
Anyways, I just feel like wait, hold on. I don't feel like you did.
No, I just finished the one. Oh, sorry. I just finished the one where it said the dream is to travel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I also feel guilty for staying here too, because I just feel like I'm wasting time and missing out on my family's lives. My parents, Sagittarius and Libra. Oh, interesting. My parents too, Sag and Libra, and they divorced. So hope they're okay. Never mind. Are getting older. I have 3 little siblings. 2 of them are Leos, and the other is an Aquarius. Shout out. And they all live back home, and they're still in school and or college. We all share similar interests, mainly art and cars. They're way younger than me, but honestly, I love spending time with them. We are very close. My bestie Scorpio also lives there still with her husband Virgo, who is my cousin. And she just had a baby Capricorn. I love that she's giving everyone's her family tree chart.
Yes.
And I'm now a godmother. Me and Scorpio have been friends since high school. She's my ride or die, and I miss her so much. I have a few more friends that still live there, are relatively close to the area. One is a Gemini. Me and him have known each other since we were little. We were very close friends, but we both transferred schools and never really kept in touch until recently. We hung out a few times over the past year while I was visiting home, and girl, I caught the feels. I don't know. I was like waiting for like some dickuation situation. Dickuation. I've been single for 3 years. My last relationship was toxic, and I'm still slightly traumatized. LOL. Me and Gemini have been open with each other about our feelings, and we both like each other. But because of the distance, we have just kept things casual, which I'm totally cool with. Honestly, I'm not necessarily looking for a relationship at the moment. If it's still meant to be, it will be. ... I'm gonna still have fun though. LOL.
As you should.
Pure app. I was gonna.
Anyways, I just feel like I am always missing out on friends and family's lives. Mainly my little siblings. They're still kids, age 9, 14, 18. Oh wow, yeah. I try to visit as much as I can. It's a 7-hour. It's a 7-hour drive. Oof. So it's kind of hard to do on the weekends. Oh my gosh, on the yeah. Even if I do take a Saturday off, I normally go on holidays or when I have extra money. That's like between NorCal and SoCal.
Yeah, it's 5 hours. Yeah.
Not going to lie, my hometown kind of sucks, and it doesn't have much to offer career-wise. While the whole reason I left in the first place, it's very farm and agricultural based, so it's mostly cornfields, LOL. It's also full of very close-minded people, and winter is like 10 months out there. Jesus. LOL. But I have people there who actually give a fuck about me. What should I do? Your thoughts, concerns, and opinions are very appreciated. Love y'all. Sending good vibes. Purple Heart, Raven.
Love you, Raven.
So
maybe she said Raven because she wanted us to sing the song. Because we've been singing it a lot lately.
we were.
Anyways, probably not.
You're at a very pivotal point.
Go home.
I think you can go home. There's no shame in going home, but there's also no shame in putting yourself first and wanting to adventure, because you don't want to get to like the end of your life being like, oh, I wish I could or wish I did. If it comes to like, I just try to like balance between like being sporadic, being spontaneous, while also recognizing I still have responsibilities and I still have to have my priorities in order. And sometimes I choose either or, but for the most part, you do have to take chances sometimes. And I think right now, considering your age, you don't have to take on the guilt of like, oh, I'm not there for my younger siblings. You're not raising them, right? And thankfully in this era of technology, you can stay connected. You can still offer them. Yeah, and you can still offer them support. But I'm saying, like, if she decided to move away, let's say, for example, if you wanted to move to a coastal city, you can just be the big... people do that. Like, oh, my big college sister moved away to blah, 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 blah. Like, imagine if this was a different story and you got into, like, fucking Harvard. You would have to move away. And so make this next chapter in your life your Harvard. Make it... Actually, fuck Harvard. I should not make that reference. Make it your Cal. But, like... Even though it's not about going to an institute or a university, what it is about prioritizing the next chapter of your life. And you can't live your life for other people, including your family. And that's not to make it feel selfish. It is selfish, but in a healthy way, because they're not going to live their life for you. And as much as people would appreciate your presence and support, at the end of the day, you still have to live your life for yourself. That's just my personal opinion. But you can only sacrifice so much of your personal development, especially at these young formative years, before you realize, oh, I'm actually holding myself back. So while going home is totally an option if you want to save financially, if you are ready to take the fucking leap, fucking hard launch that shit and leap. I'm just such a huge proponent of that. But I have no regrets of choosing independence. And again, it doesn't mean, clearly you have so much love for your family, you'll always find a way to stay connected. And
I also just think, sorry, no,
oh, you're
you
good.
finish.
You'll always find a way to stay connected. And even if that means just coming around during holidays, that's kind of the best fucking time.
Right?
Because then it means that they have to be nice on the times that they see you.
That's true.
And everybody loves it makes the holidays that much sweeter. Like, it's just or then you can even plan like summer trips for like your little siblings to come and visit you for summer. Like, how cool would that be if you moved to like SoCal and be like, oh, I'm gonna take my siblings to like Disneyland? Like, that would be so sweet. Not me writing your story, but you know what I mean? Like, there are other, you're kind of caught tunnel vision right now in like only home and only Kansas City. Sorry, I don't want to reveal your location, but you know what I mean? Like, those are not your only two options. Explore your options, give yourself more options, but also choose something, because you can have a better experience by just fucking going for it. And it seems like you are a level-headed person where you know that you need to prioritize responsibilities. So yeah, you're gonna do it in a careful way, because you care about your future and you care about your family. So rooting for you and excited for you, actually. Like, tickling.
No, it's like, it's a part of being like young and exploring where you want to nest, you know? And so it's like,
and it can still be temporary. It doesn't have to be the be all end all.
Exactly. And like I said, it's a privilege to have, like, it's a blessing to have a family that you could come home to. And I think if anything, that should like get you to not feel as like scared and anxious to go out there and try a new city or try something new. I also
she got
like,
the pets.
She got the pets. She got the pets. But that's okay. People make it work.
Yeah, euthanize.
You know? Yeah. What did we say?
I said euthanize. I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
Dark.
Fucking, what is it? What is that foundation?
SPCA?
Them. They'll come after us. Just kidding.
Oh.
Go after him.
Oh, PETA. PETA.
PETA, bitch. I'm sorry. PETA, bitch. So, and also I was thinking, like, did she say how long she's been there for? Because that plays a part too. You know, like,
You mean with her current toxic roommate?
yeah, where she is. I mean, obviously her current.
I don't think she did. I don't remember her saying it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously move out of that situation.
Long enough.
Yeah, I mean, obviously move out of that situation. But I think the city itself, you know, she was saying like, yeah, my bar friends, I haven't made friends yet. And I think that like it takes time to really settle in to live anywhere, you know. I mean, even for, you know, I moved to the Bay Area, lived in California, technically my entire California. I lived in LA basically for my entire life. And so to come to the Bay, the first year was really like, it was, you know, it was the best decision I ever made, but it was also very tough, you know, because one, I was moving with a boyfriend for the first time, and two, because it was a brand new city and I didn't have friends just down the street that I could call. So it was really like adjusting to just the newness of everything. And so it takes a while. And I think for the first year, for me personally, it was really just adjusting to like the home life. And now, you know, my second year, my whole life. My whole life. No, my home. It congested said ho, but I meant to say home. If I could say that with a nasally nose. A home life. I was adjusting to my home.
Yes.
And like, you know, all of that stuff and like living with someone. So now it's like my second year, I've been like, you know, okay, go out and explore and go, you know, make friends or whatever. And that's hard.
Yeah. Oh my God, remember when you lived with the gay Republican?
What? Oh yeah. The dungeon with the gay Republican.
She was locked in a gay Republican's dungeon, y'all.
Literally, like, when I write a movie or a show about my life, the gay Republican is definitely going to be.
And you should cast Nathan.
You know what's funny? Nathan
would play it so good. He would play it so perfect.
Oh my God, I should cast Nathan. Oh my God, he would die. He would. Oh my God, I can't. It's so funny. God, that guy was such a trip, though. That's all. Maybe one day I'll do a whole.
Not
episode.
a gay publican.
He was just like. But yeah, you know, when you move, you live in absurd situations. But anyways, like, it takes time to adjust to newness. So maybe just give it time before just like running back home quickly. I don't know how long you've been there, but if you've been there for a while and you've had, you know, like, but again, she says her pets, just keep looking. There's ways. It's hard, but there's ways.
It takes time to look for places, but
Live
I was
in a dungeon
also
with the gay Republican.
There you go. I reread like the beginning, and the thing is, you know, with your 2 jobs, working 6 days a week, and also taking care of like multiple pets and a fucking psychotic, immature roommate, you're already doing the work. You're doing so much work outside of work, you know? So like, if you're already going to struggle that hard, might as well struggle in a situation that's bettering you, you know?
Right.
I know we keep pushing SoCal, but that's just like our proponent, and not even specifically LA. all of SoCal, there's a lot of other areas,
Yeah.
you know, and like
There's Central California, there's Fresno.
if you, I would not. That's basically
So I
Texas.
got a huge Fresno following. I was like, we can knock them. They're like, come to Fresno. Like, we skipped over you.
I know.
Yeah.
Is it safe?
It was like, actually, I've been to Fresno a bunch of times. It's, like, it's cool. It's just
Okay.
really hot. It's
Oh.
just like, it's just a
I
lot
thought it
of.
was very Republican out there.
It is, but it's.
okay.
I guess maybe because it's
So
a
I
lot
won't be
like
going to that
it's
show.
a lot like
No,
Santa
kidding.
Clarita in a way. So maybe that's why it feels
Oh.
very familiar.
Okay.
But anyway, no shade. Shout out to Fresno.
But not shout out to Santa Clarita. No, just
Yeah.
kidding.
Fuck Santa Clarita.
Yeah, fuck
And
Santa
fuck my
Clarita.
friends in Santa Clarita. Anyways,
But yeah, if you're already working
love
this
this.
hard, let it out, girl.
I don't know. I'm not even mad at them anymore. Well,
Right.
fuck y'all. But anyways,
Yeah.
continue.
If you're already doing this much work, you know, might as well. You're already gonna work hard in that situation. So put yourself in a situation where, like, at the end of the day, at the end of the 6 months to 12 months, you can be like, yeah, I put in the work here, but it's now in a situation that I enjoy. You know, imagine yourself moving to a new city, any fucking where else, and the struggle is hard when you first get there, but then after 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, you're like, I have a healthy friend group. I have an awesome job working on cars or doing art on fucking cars, you know, like whatever it is, like you can, and then you have like 4 more pets, you know, like these things can happen, but they come at the cost of taking the fucking risk. And sure, it's not guaranteed, but it's better than just staying stuck in the situation that you are. So it's just something to
Exactly.
consider.
Yeah. Like there's been times where I always think about like when I'm complaining about where, you know, because we have goals, right? We've always want to be in a better place than we are now. And I'm like, I get like hard on myself that I'm not at a place where I want to necessarily be. And then and then I have to like remind myself, I'm like, no, like you prayed to be in this position now.
Yes.
Like if I would have told younger Steph back in the dungeon days, like my situation now, she would have been fucking thrilled.
Yeah.
You know, she like it would have looked like luxury. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like having to remind yourself that like you used to pray to be in like the situation that you're in now.
That's
you
very,
know?
very,
For the most part,
very
obviously,
true.
if we all in shitty situations, I'm so sorry, but
Yeah,
just
yeah.
know that it's possible and
Yeah.
you could get there. And there's always
Yeah.
we always want to better our life and
Yeah,
just
I think
remind
that's
yourselves.
literally what she said when she was saying like younger her. Maybe that was someone else, but like younger her was like, I can't wait to move out type of thing.
Right. And so
And you're there.
You're there.
You know,
And
it's just another transition point. Yes, but you made it, so you can make it further elsewhere too.
right. Yeah. Oh, already over an hour.
Oh, shit.
This is fun. I love talking about things like this with you.
Life development. We're life coaches now.
Oh, yeah, we are. Look at us. Y'all listen and tune in to our
Life
advice
coaching
from
sessions.
us.
Jay Shetty, watch out. No, just kidding.
I used to work on his show too.
I know you too.
Yeah. Anyways, plug yourself.
HK Brains, come back to my studio.
Aw, we'll be here again. Hopefully
Yes.
we could cop the conferences
Yeah.
room the next time.
And club night is coming.
hey,
I'm
that's-
pushing this for y'all. Okay, I'm pushing
so
this.
I need to tell the twins.
I'm gonna be the host.
HK Brain BGT takeover. Anyways, follow me, Stefanie Maegan, or go to brocotherapy.com. All that shit is there. we need to do that again. But like in a tighter
Yeah,
harmony.
we'll make a harmony. Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. All right, bye.
Growth therapy.